Small detail parts, like the Mack emblems and Bulldog in AMT's R600 kit, are typically simply glued in place as per the instructions, which means you're relying solely on a glue joint to hold them in place. Although it's a little more work on the front end, drilling and pinning these parts makes for easier assembly and a more secure connection. For the Mack letters that go on the front of the hood, this also provides an opportunity to make the part more accurate, because AMT is molded as one piece with the letters joined together, instead of being four separate letters, as this picture of the front of a real Mack R600 shows. I used 20 thou styrene rod to make the pins for the letters and emblems, so the process starts with drilling one hole in each letter using a number 76 drill, and this job is made much easier by leaving the parts attached to the molding tree to hold them securely. The Mack emblem is separated into four individual letters. They're dechromed and cleaned up, and then they're glued in place temporarily on the front of the hood. I like to use yellow carpenter's glue for this, because it's just there to tack them in place, and it's easily cleaned up afterwards. The temporary glue joint isn't a strong bond, but it only has to hold the part in place long enough to locate the drilled hole accurately. Here, the hole for the letter M is started, and the letter itself is already broken free from the glue joint. Scrape any remaining glue off the back of the letter, and then glue 20 thou styrene rod into the hole, with a little bit projecting out the front so it can be sanded down and filed smooth after. To get a precise fit for the styrene rod, this small reamer set, which I bought in a hobby shop a number of years ago, has been a worthwhile investment. It covers a range of sizes from 10 thou up to 1/16 of an inch. Excess rod has been cut free and sanded smooth on the front of the letter M, and about 3/8 to half an inch is left out the back to serve as a handle for the finishing process. I used Alclad to replicate the chrome finish of the real letters, with their gloss black base going on first, followed by the chrome lacquer. The script emblems for the side of the hood are much smaller, so it wasn't practical to drill a hole in the face of the letter. Instead, I drilled a hole in the center of the letter A, and hid the pin in plain sight by insetting the face of the styrene rod about 15 thou below the face of the emblem, so it wasn't obvious that a pin had been added. The same Alclad gloss black base and chrome finish was used on these emblems. The holes which are drilled in the hood will provide positive location when the finished emblems are installed after the hood is painted. Letters are temporarily set in place here, showing how the styrene rod pins are completely hidden, having been filed and sanded smooth with the face of the emblems. This is why I prefer to use styrene rod for these pins, as opposed to my usual preference of brass wire. Looking at the inside of the hood, excess pin projecting inside is visible. This will be cut off after final assembly. No drilling was done with the Bulldog hood ornament, as the size of the base made it practical to simply glue a short piece of 40 thou styrene rod in place to serve as the mounting pin. A matching hole was placed in the hood, starting with a number 61 drill and reaming it out slightly for a slip fit for the 40 thou rod pin. Having the Bulldog pinned in place is preferable to a small glue joint being the only means of attachment. He'll of course get the same gloss black base and Alclad chrome treatment as the rest of the trim parts, and then he'll be set aside to await final assembly. Closing image shows the hood freshly painted white, and this is another area where the reamer set will be valuable at final assembly, because paint will tend to build up on the inside of the holes, making an interference fit with the mounting pins. These will all get reamed out at final assembly, so the emblems are easy to install. Although it might seem like a bit of extra work on the front end to drill and pin these parts, it actually makes things easier at final assembly, and also a much cleaner process. Give it a try on your next model truck project, and thanks for watching this little how-to.